Welcome to Word Problems Part 2. In the first part, we learned how to write our let statement, how to read the word problems, and see exactly how we're going to write our equations based on what we read. So we're going to dive right in. Olivia owns 43 CDs. This is 15 more CDs than Angela owns. How many CDs does Angela own? So again, we need to write our let statement, which is exactly what we're looking to find. So in this problem, it says, how many CDs does Angela own? We're going to let X equal number of CDs Angela owns, since that's what we're looking for. CDs Angela owns. Okay, so Olivia, so this is talking about Olivia, she owns 43 CDs. This is 15 more CDs than Angela owns. So when I see this, I see that word is again. Is always means equals. So this is 15 more CDs than Angela owns. Well, we said Angela's X, so Angela owns X amount. Olivia owns 43. 43 is, because it says this, which is referring to how many she owns. So 43 is 15 more CDs. Oh, so more, 15 more means I have to add 15 to something. We talked about the nice thing when you write equations is that if you're looking at, a lot of times it's if you're saying 15 more or 20 less than, you're going to use whatever operation means more or less or times. You're going to use those operations. There's no more thinking backwards. So here we said Olivia owns 43, which is, so 43 is 15 more CDs than Angela owns, because Angela owns X amount. We don't know what she owns yet. I know a lot of you knew, oh, if I just take 43 minus 15, it's going to get me how many Angela owns. But what we're trying to do is create equations based on these word problems. So here, I'm going to solve for my variable. X is on the right side, so I have to get rid of this positive 15, get the negative 15. So X is going to equal 28. So now I know Angela owns, since X is 28, and that's what I represented Angela's CDs, so Angela owns 28 CDs. Okay. Next one, Dr. Austin makes 3 times the amount of money that his brother does cutting grass. If Dr. Austin makes $75 cutting grass, how much does his brother make? Right there's your let statement. Let X equal how much his bro makes. So once that's done, go back, reread the problem. Dr. Austin makes 3 times the amount of money his brother does. Right there's my clue word, times. I'm going to multiply 3 times something. I see that. So 3 times something. That something is, all right, Dr. Austin makes 3 times the amount of money his brother does. Well, what did I say was the amount of money his brother does? Oh, that's X. That's what I'm looking to find. So it's 3 times the amount of money his brother makes. So let me reread this again. Dr. Austin makes 3 times the amount of money his brother makes. Dr. Austin makes $75. So 3 times the amount of money his brother makes is the same as the $75 that he makes. So Dr. Austin and Dr. Austin. Okay? So here we have divide both sides by 3. Divide by 3. X is going to equal $25. So his brother makes $25. So next one. Dr. Austin's gas tank is 3/4 full. If he currently has 15 gallons in his gas tank, what's the total amount of gas that Dr. Austin's truck can hold? So we're taking a look here. It's asking you total amount of gas that his truck can hold. So we're going to say let X equal total amount of gas. Okay. So we get our let statement out of the way. Dr. Austin's gas tank is 3/4 full. He currently has 15 gallons of gas. So when I read this one, I'm not seeing any real clue words in here. And I remember when we did this one before, we actually used a bar model to do this. We're not going to do that today. So we're going to reread. We're going to kind of look at this and see what is it actually saying. So Dr. Austin's gas tank is 3/4 full. So I want you to think about his tank. It's 3/4 of the tank is full. Okay. We know 3/4 of the tank is the same thing as 15 gallons of gas because it currently has 15 gallons of gas. So 15 gallons of gas is the same thing as 3/4 of his full tank. And if you notice what word I keep saying there, I keep saying 3/4 of his full tank of gas. We said X is going to be the total amount of gas that he has. When you think about 3/4 of the full amount of gas, we know that translates to multiplication. So this problem states Dr. Austin's gas tank is 3/4 full. 3/4 of the gas tank is the same as the 15 gallons that are in it. So in this problem, it's going to be 3/4 times X. 3/4 of that total amount is the same as 15. So here we're going to solve. So since it's times, we divide by 3/4. You know, it always looks so silly when we divide by a fraction. So X is going to equal 20. So his tank holds 20 gallons. Okay, because 3/4 of his tank was 20 gallons. All right. The next two are a little different. All the other problems we had only had 2 numbers in it. This one's going to have 3. The next two have 3 numbers. This is actually going to be a 2-step equation. Jeff is paid a weekly salary of $685. He is paid an additional $23.50 for every hour of overtime he works. This week, his total pay was $849.50. How many hours of overtime did Jeff work this week? So here, we're given a couple different pieces about his salary and overtime and the total amount. So you're going to have to do a few different steps to get to your answer. So when you feel like you have to do a couple steps to get to the answer, you're going to create a 2-step or multi-step equation to solve this. Okay? So first things first, we always write our let statement. So how many hours of overtime did he work this week? Let X equal number of hours of overtime, of OT. There we go. All right, let's dissect this. So Jeff is paid a weekly salary of $685. So he gets $685 for just working. Nothing, doesn't matter how many overtime or whatever, he gets $685. He's paid an additional $23.50 for every hour of overtime. This week, his total pay was $849.50. I always tell kids, find your total number first in these types of problems. If you find your total number, everything has to equate up to that. Okay, it's got to come up to the total number. So in this one, his total pay is going to be $849.50. So everything has to equal his total pay. So now we got one of the numbers out of the way because it said this week his total pay was $849.50. So his salary plus his additional overtime is going to add up to the total amount that he earns that week. Okay, you see the word total. So let X equal the number of hours of overtime. All right, the next thing I tell kids is your let statement talks about your hours of overtime. Look and see which number corresponds with your let statement. Well, that's going to be the $23.50 right here. $23.50 of every hour of overtime he works. So he gets paid this base salary of $685. He gets $685 regardless. That's your constant. That's the number that's not going to change. That's going to go right here. When you find your constant, That's going to be the one that is not stuck to the variable. Okay? Whatever number depends on X, that's the number you're going to put with your variable. So he makes an additional $23.50 for every hour. So it's $23.50 per hour. Per means to multiply. So $23.50 for every hour. If you can't figure out if you have to multiply or whatever, think to yourself, all right, well, if he works 1 hour, how much does he make? Oh, $23.50. If he works 2 hours, how much does he make? Oh, $47. Well, what did you do to do that? You had to multiply $23.50 times 2. 3 hours, you'd multiply it by 3. 4 hours, you multiply it by 4. So that's why we have to take $23.50 times X. So he makes $23.50 for every hour plus the $6.85 he makes regardless, your constant. That equals that total of $849.50. So yes, now we know how to solve this. 685. 23.50 X, drop down your equals, 164.50. You can always pause and do this on your own. Divide by 23.5. And you're going to find out that he works 7 hours of overtime. 7 hours. Yes, you would write a sentence. Time's sake, I'm not writing a sentence. Cost of a family membership at a health club is $58 per month plus a one-time startup fee of $129. The family spent $651 at the health club. How many months was their membership? Right there. Let X, whatever it's asking you to find, equals number of months of membership. Okay? The cost of a family membership at a health club is $58 per month. Right there, $58 for every single month. So that number is going to change. One-time startup fee of $129. So they pay that one fee once. That's your constant. They spend a total of $651. Right there's your total amount. So $651 goes on that side of your equal sign. So if it's $58 per month plus that startup fee, just like in the overtime, the 58 is what is going to change depending upon how many months. So X represents the number of months. It's 58 per month. Those are the two pieces that go together, that and that. So $58 per month plus the $129 startup fee has to equal that total of $651 that the family spent. So we solve our equation, our two-stepper. Always undo this first. Please remember that if you had like 651 on the left and 58x plus 129 on the right, you're still completely correct. Completely correct. And then divide by 58 on both sides. If your equation doesn't look exactly like mine, that's okay. So maybe you had 129 plus 58x. Still the same thing. When you're solving or when you're writing equations, you must have what I call one transformation, at least, which means you cannot have your x isolated by itself before you even start the problem. So read your problems, write your let statement, create your equation, and then solve.